Okay, my morning review here, guys. I did two trades in Qs this morning. That's it. I'm done for the day. So my main takeaway here, we were breaking these October lows here right near the gate this morning, pushing out below that. So I thought that was a continuation pattern given the news we had out of the PPI this morning. It was going to, open the door for a capitulation sell-off to the COVID low trend here on the Qs. That's why it wasn't blind luck that I blindly taking the Qs. There was a logic to my madness on that trade. So basically, that's what I was looking for. That's why I wanted to go short on the Qs early on this morning, thinking we were breaking, possibly trending into a fast move zone down to the COVID low area. That was my primary thesis on the trade. Now, also in that same scenario, we were coming in this morning, and uh, my first trade was the 262 calls, I think. And let me maximize over here. And I'll go over here on 2 minute first of all. This is what I was looking at on 2 minute. So we came right out of the gate and we're pushing out of the 2 minute Bollinger Band. So in my mind, it was validating the breakdown pattern. So I was actually initiating the 262s right here at day lows. It's the absolute worst time of the day. But I had a logic to my madness why I was buying short in the hole, thinking that I only had 30 contracts, but I paid top dollar for them. So I actually lost on the 262s and actually gained on the 264s, 264 calls or puts. And so I make mistakes just like everybody else, especially when you're doing these opening range trades. You don't know if they're going to work in your favor. And in this case, they saved it and rallied it back up. And we talked about that pre-market, the possibility of a rally. Well, my second thing, that's why I didn't go in real heavy on the 262s. I figured I could go 30 contracts. If they go against me, then I could probably make it up on another trade. That was my primary thesis. So what we had going on here, and if you go over here on uh, your 1 hour, this is the one I typically trade with. Okay, and what I had identified in the pre-market when we were talking and stuff, uh, Sharon was talking about how immediately on the PPI numbers we had sell side pressure. So that put me in a natural bearish tone on the markets. Okay. But I was really wanting to see us to come back up and find a strategic short into the CPR areas for a short today, thinking that we were at such a critical level that coming back into CPR was probably a very high probability in my thinking process. So what we did here, we came up to CPR high, which corresponds with a flat zone on my momentum cloud. Okay. So I actually, right up here, I was actually loading uh, uh, 200 contracts of the 264s to the puts. Okay. And you're right here near day highs. I was loading up to the put side 200 contracts. And and then the first time I did it, I went right here and I'd got in the 264s there, and I had stopped out on those. They took me a little bit of a little bit of my profit. I didn't let it go too far against me, thinking that the cloud low and the CPR, would actually be a rejection. But they did continue it up a little bit. I got stopped out with a tight stop. Didn't really cost me that much. And but then up here, I really loaded up the 200 short, and that was the reasoning for that trade. Now, as far as intraday trading goes, watching it while I was trading it, and my logic, and even why I was the reasoning because I decided to get out of my trade early. So my primary thesis was that it was in this trade, given the nature of what was going on, I thought right here was a good sell spot to take profits on a trade. Okay. And so I got into that trade, like I said, up there near the highs of the session. I was getting the Q puts, those Q puts. Okay. And or I think I was back down in here somewhere around that. And then I took it down here. And so basically, I kept watching it, we have a sell. This right here is your last signal. That's your sell signal. So with my system, uh, we continue to have sell signals all the way through here, okay? And what really bothered me here, I started seeing these green candles coming up right through here, okay? And I'm going to switch over to the 10 year because, you know, the 10-year yield, when it goes up, a lot of times they're inversely correlated to the Qs, okay? So what I was looking at here in that same time frame, uh, see, I ended up 943 is where I ended up selling, okay? But what I was seeing here on these 10-year yields using my Bollingers and stuff, uh, see, we had a bearish breakdown here around the 935 area. So that's when I started getting nervous on my bearish thesis. You know, I thought when we came in here, we would be, given the nature of the news, we would be actually running up into the 4% this morning. That was my primary thesis here on the bond yields. So I was kind of using the bond yields in relation to my Q trade. You know, rightfully or wrong. You know, that was my primary thesis on the trade. And so whenever I go back in here, like I said, I sold here at the 943. So, I don't know. That's not 943. Wait 1 second here. Yeah, it was 943. I'm sorry. So 943 back here. Uh, so basically, which that 2 minute? Yeah, my charts have changed here. What's going on here? 1 minute here. Okay, now I got it. 1018. It took me a minute there to find it. So right here is where I sold on this thing, and if you want to look, that's what I was seeing that weakness in the yields, and it gave me a little concern. And then when I saw this volume right here was the highest volume since 10 o'clock, and it gave me a little concern that this was almost matching up. We had a very strong red candle there, and we almost took it out with this candle. So I was really getting concerned that we were getting a reversal setup going on here. So like I said, 918 right here on this candle, I decided to close my position. Okay. And wouldn't you know it, you know, the very next candle, it starts just absolutely imploding. So that's the way it goes. So now we're coming right back down. You know, we're taking out those lows. So, and my primary thesis here also, anytime I'm trading this, I thought what we were going to see today was, given the PPI and we know CPIs tomorrow, that we would be getting a hard test of the 35.66, 35.68. You know, those are the two levels between Tom and Johnny, and that's why I stayed on the bearish side here. You know, we could very well still do that today, but you know, that was another reason why I was sticking with the bearish side. So, but you know, so that's a quick retake of my day. You know, hopefully that helped you guys in your trading.